again, this is Tara from Wild Bird Farm. I garden here in Zone 5 in central Iowa, and we finally have a gorgeous day. So as I was out here feeding and watering the starts, I thought I'll bring you along. I don't mind sitting outside today. I have several trays of seedlings out here hardening off or just newly coming out here to harden off. So they are getting some fertilizer today. I use the Alaska Fish Plant Food. It's a 511. You don't have to be real specific in how much you give. There are directions on the back, but I've never burned a plant with this, so it's pretty safe. And I'll take you down in a minute and show you kind of my setup and how I use this. But first I wanted to talk a little bit about hardening off. I am sitting under our covered porch, and I love to use this as long as the wind isn't like a straight line wind from the south that's gonna pummel the plants. I have a table here that I love to set up so they're getting mostly shade, but then late in the day the sun comes under the awning here, and they do get, the cat's up on the table, they do get a little bit of late sunlight, and then I can easily move them out so they're getting more during the day sunlight, which is a little bit harsher. If the wind is coming straight from the south, I might put them on my north side of my house. That way they're protected from the wind and they'd be getting morning sunlight on that side. So whatever your situation is, you may have to play around with it. But if you are in a windy location or your sun is already getting harsh when you're ready to plant your plants out, it's really, really important that you harden them off. I can't stress that enough. I'm still learning it. I'll still try and shortcut it at times, and my plants look terrible and the leaves are burned. So I just wanted to mention that. I'm gonna pull the camera down now and we'll just walk around. It's gonna be very bright out because it's sunny today, but hopefully you can see well enough to see how I'm fertilizing and kind of my process for getting things hardened off. So just for reference, we are in early April. Oh boy, both cats now. We're pretty sure one is pregnant too, so stay tuned, we may have babies. I am in early April here, so my last frost is generally the very end of April or the first week in May. But the things that I have out here hardening off are hardy annuals. So we'll walk through what I have out here as well. It's very harsh sunlight, so I apologize for that. What I like to use is just this clear tub. I fill it about an inch or so with water, and then I add in the Alaska plant fertilizer. And I just let these soak up, wick up the water from the bottom, and that's how they're getting a little bit of fertilizer. This is a mobium that I have in the tray, which I have not grown before, and I recently found out that it is a hardy annual. So, oh boy, Kitty's going in the water. Do you believe that? So this one is newly hardened off. It's mostly up in the shade, but it will get full sun here in a day or two. Over here are some Lysianthus plugs that I got in from Ball Color Link that look absolutely awesome. I don't order a lot of plugs. I know if you did the math and you included your time and the expense of growing from seed, it would probably even out. I guess I say my labor is free because for me, plugs are more expensive. But these look absolutely great. I have grown Lysianthus from seed 2 or 3 years, and I thought that's not for me. I don't want to baby them from January. I can get absolutely beautiful plugs in. I'm not growing thousands and thousands. I'm probably growing 1,000 when it's all said and done. So this is a great alternative for me. I'll just run through, let's see. This is the ABC Misty Blue. Oh my goodness, kitties. I actually have flip-flops on out here for the first time this year. ABC Rose Rim. I think it's maybe rimmed with a lighter or darker. I can't remember now. Let's see. And Deep Rose. So those are looking great. These just came yesterday, so they're not getting much sun. I dipped them. They had some water to soak up before I put the fertilizer in, and they're going to be out in the sun here just for the amount of time it takes me to water everything, and then they will go back up in the shade on the table. So these are going to get hardened off nice and slow. I won't plant those out for another full week or two. So amobium in there, they should be about done soaking up. Over here we have my columbine that we've looked at before. These are, they like to be planted in part shade, but they are fully hardened off now. They're ready to get planted out. They'll get a good fertilizer soak, so they're ready to go out into the ground in a day or two. The things in my cart are getting kind of part sun days right now. Today they're out for quite a while. We planted up, well, we actually pulled this bupleurum out of a double sowed tray in a video. Not the best looking bupleurum I've ever had, but it'll do. That's going to get a good drink today. 2 containers of straw flowers. Looking pretty good. Sorry, I think I need to get my shadow out of here. Okay, so straw flower there, looking actually really quite good this year. Now, I put those in larger 72 cell trays, and I will do that for them next year, and I will also do it for the straw flower. I was trying to get more straw flower in a smaller space. I may have to break down and try soil blocking, I'm not sure. These look good, but they're in the 128 cell trays, and I think they'd be quite a bit bigger if they were in the same size as the straw flower. So these will be going out into the ground within the next week. They are about done hardening off. Again, they're hardy annuals, so they're going to go out a few weeks before our expected last frost. And then I got one more thing in. While I grow quite a bit of feverfew from seed, I didn't even remember I ordered this. I think because I tried starting the Magic Single and I didn't have good germination at all. I have the Tetra White is what I have really good luck growing from seed. So I already have those starts out in the ground. I have some that are going to come back from last year. But I also ordered the Vegmo Sunny Ball. And I think I ordered this because the Magic Single didn't germinate for me. A little bit droopy, so these really need to get some good fertilizer water, and they're ready to be planted out. They're a hardy annual. My others have already been out in the field for a few weeks. They're not too root bound yet though, so if I can get these hardened off and out planted, I think they're going to do really well. So I'm excited about that. There's not anything super secret to this. I am just letting them wick up water from the bottom. So once I pick up the tray, you kind of get a feel for if it feels heavier and that quite a bit of water has been soaked up, and then I just swap them out. I know I've talked about this before, but I also love using the garden cart as an easy way to harden off the seedlings. And what I mean by that is I wish I had 2 or 3 of them, but I cram as many flats as I can in the garden cart, and then it's super easy to pull it into your garage at night or into your shed, out into a shady location, maybe if you're going to be gone all day, or out into the sun for an hour or 2 and then back into the shade. Just makes things a lot more easy and manageable when you have several flats of flowers. Even carrying 1 or 2 in and out of the house each day can really be a pain. And also another tip, if you have it in a garden cart and you have some frost cloth and you've been leaving them out, but it's going to be a cooler night, and you're a little bit nervous about it, you can take that frost cloth and just wrap it around the garden cart, give them a couple layers of protection, keep them out of the wind if it's windy that night, and you're probably going to have really good success. One other thing I like to do is keep them up and out of the way, because yesterday I came out, I had my Lizzie-anthus on this table and the cats were standing on the Lizzie-anthus on top of the table. So if you have cats, it may not help, but keeping that up and away from critters, or if you have a dog that you let out, they're always curious to see what's going on. So maybe keep them up, or the garden cart kind of acts as a little bit of a cage, so that's even better yet. As you think about fertilizer, it's also great to give your new plants a foliar spray, and that means just spraying with a diluted fertilizer solution on the leaves, on the green matter of your plants. They can soak in the nutrients that way. I have a backpack sprayer. I'm not sure if it's 3 or 5 gallon. It's pretty heavy when it's all the way full for me. I kind of have to lug it up on my shoulders. It's almost too heavy for me to do that on my own. They also have little handheld ones that you can do like a hand pump on. They might be a gallon, or maybe they even have a half-gallon size. That would be great. But I would caution that generally that's not the main way I water. So if I were using the foliar spray, which I've done more in past years, I just haven't gotten those, I haven't got the backpack sprayer out yet this year. But I would still bottom water to make sure that all that soil is drenched or very moist, and then come over just with a light spritz with your foliar spray. I wouldn't generally use that foliar spray as your main way that you're going to water the plugs, because I just don't think they're probably going to get enough water that way. But definitely play around with it and just kind of watch your seedlings. You can see if they're drying out. And when you've used the same type of tray for a while, you can just lift it up and you'll know if they need watering. So that's just another thing I wanted to mention. All it takes is really one nice day to get me all excited for planting time. So make sure that you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. I will be planting probably everything out that we looked at here on video. So be sure, cat's making noise. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Until next time, everyone, happy gardening. I hope it's nice where you are today.